Now it's time for the Duel Monsters Season Finale of I Challenge You. In this series of episodes, I'll be teaming up with everyone's favorite Feelin' Luckybot to take on a variety of challenges against some incredible AI competitors. This is our last chance to see some of the most busted cards in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. So without further ado, get ready to rumble! And welcome back, kings, queens, and monarchs of every element, to the DM finale of I Challenge You. In this episode of the DM finale, we are taking Borgarbot unleashed against the ladder. We've been beaten down by the Scrap Rose Synchro deck one too many times, and now with all of our DM pulls and no restrictions, we get to fight. And this is the monstrosity I'm choosing to bring this week. This is Fairy Box Turbo is what I'm calling it. The plan is to hold field presence with our floaters and with our guys that have effects when they're destroyed by battle, and also Gaia power, in order to make the 1900 attack point monsters this deck can summon pretty much useless. Then, if they go into their extra deck, they're going to get punished by a number of cards. Kelbeck is an incredible card, especially under Gaia power. If they attack into it without targeting, they send the attacker back to the extra deck. Hyper Hammerhead does that whether or not it was attacked. Yomi Ship destroys the monster that destroys it by battle, which means we have so many outs to Avramax, so many outs to Bahamut, and a lot of other stuff to work with. And even if they're not going into those things, these guys are 2k under Gaia power. We also have the nuclear option spell cards in here, the double Pot of Greed and the triple Raigeki to blast their board. Again, from a couple of episodes again, we've teched in some hot cards here, the double Sonic Bird and the one Manju of the 10,000 hands to get hamburger recipe from our deck to our hand. Why would we do that? To guarantee that we have spell cards in our hand to confuse them for Ordeal of a Traveler. Remember, this version of the bot always calls monster cards. Ordeal of a Traveler and Fairy Box are two of the most unfun cards in this series, and we are thankfully going to be seeing them get banned in our next couple of episodes. But for now, we are making full use of them to commit absolute war crimes against this bot. Speaking of war crimes, we have Royal Oppression to negate all their special summons, and finally 2 copies of Magic Drain to keep them from Raigekiing and to keep them from feather dustering us. I think this deck can easily win this match for us. We just need a little bit of luck. We've faced this matchup so many times before. We've been beaten down, but we've always stood back up. And today I asked chat, will lightning strike on the same match twice? Can our Raigekis carry us to victory? 55% believe in Borgarbot. And I think today is the day. I am ready for the Avramax Empire to fall. Let the games begin. All right. How are we starting today? We are starting with Gaia power. Not terrible. It gives us a 1900 attack point rat, and we have at least one floodgate to work with in here, as long as they don't hit us with the Harpy's Feather Duster. They decided to discard Called by the Grave, a card we had yet to see in this deck. They're going to go for Hulk. Hulk is perfectly fine. It's just taking away dudes on their side of the field. Even if they hit into Avramax, we are going to keep our board presence here. Fairy Box is going to do very well. Scrap Dragon is a little bit of a threat, but they're not even going to use its effect. Fairy Box, come on. Ooh, heads. That's okay. Giant Rat will get us another guy. Hyper Hammerhead is just about the best guy we could get, too. We'll take our 500 for Fairy Box, and Hulk will do Hulk things. We're just going to shift our guys to defense position. No reason for us to risk this one. We've got the Fairy Box on the field, and we've got a guy that has the payoff even if he gets destroyed. Honestly, with Hyper Hammerhead in defense position, even if the Fairy Box hits and he doesn't destroy the monster by battle, he'll just bounce them back. Scrap Dragon going into Mother Grizzly. We call tails. We hit heads. Not good Fairy Box hits so far, but Yomi Ship will deal with pretty much much anything. Come on, Fairy Box. Come on, Fairy Box. Fairy Box hits. Bahamut does get destroyed, which means that they're left with a relatively barren field. I say about their field full of gigantic dudes. We're going to activate Gaia Power over Gaia Power. That does not feel good. Raiden, a little bit of a problem here. They have a lot of dudes to work with. They're going to go for Black Rose Moonlight Dragon to put back the Yomi ship. Oh no. Okay, Fairy Box, you're going to have to do a lot of work here. That's a great start. Hyper Hammerhead is going to put it back to the hand. Okay, we got to do it again. Oh no, the Scrap Dragon cannot miss. Okay, we're still in the game though. We have life points and we've hit the Fairy Box a couple of times. 24 is a rough hit to take, but we can put monsters into play that'll keep us in the game. Fortunately, Fairy Box is a little bit off from killing us on its own. Let's see if we can flip correctly. We got the double tails. Yomi ship is going to survive for the turn. Clown is not the ideal thing for us to hit with Yomi ship, but Clown isn't going to hit the Yomi ship. Okay, we take the Fairy Box for one more turn. We're going to normal summon another Yomi ship. If we miss this Fairy Box, we have lost the game. Royal Oppression does absolutely jack all. We have to hit every single Fairy Box this turn. Is the bot up for the task? We hit tails on the Scrap Dragon. That's okay because Scrap Dragon isn't the one that we care about. We just need to hit once now. Just once. Call heads. Get tails. No. Oh God, that was really brutal. I feel like we had the board presence the entire time, but we just kept missing the Fairy Boxes at crucial moments. That was not a good round of flips for us, but that's okay. We only got the floodgate, the one floodgate this time around. This deck is full of them, and we have a game 2. All right, starting off hot with a normal summoned Yomi ship pass. That's not a good sign from our deck, I would say. That means we have a hand full of monsters in a deck that is only a small portion monsters. But, I mean, if they go into Avramax this turn, we're still probably okay. They aren't going to be able to do that because Scrap Wyvern will not be able to give them the materials for it this time around. We will fortunately clear the Scrap Wyvern this time, and that's okay for us. We hold board presence now. We can summon a guy, King Tiger Wang, who is just about the best guy we could summon. Wish we had a Gaia Power to pair with that, as long as they don't have one of their big ass dudes. That is one of their big ass dudes, I suppose. This is a little bit of a problem. Goblinberg is going to get destroyed by King Tiger Wang, which does reduce the number of materials they have to work with. Borrelode Savage Dragon. Oh, they had the Scrap Wyvern in grave. Borrelode is a huge problem for us because it can destroy our little guys. I wish we had a floodgate to follow that up with, because if this were something like, okay, Giant Rat is okay, that takes off a Boral counter. Remember, we just have to use up one more Boral counter in order for us to be a-okay during the next turn. We can take out this Borrelode Savage Dragon. It is beatable. Fairy Box is going to get hit with the Boral counter. That does mean we are going to clear Borrelode. The question is, are they going to have other options to go into? They're going to Hulk away the Borrelode now that it's been spent, a shockingly prescient move from the AI. They're going to go into the Garden Rose Maiden. They're synchroing into Scrap Dragon. Okay, this is not good for us, but it isn't the worst thing in the world. If this is a floater, again, we maintain our board presence. We are still in this game. Show me a Giant Rat or a Mother Grizzly. That's what we need right now. It is the Mother Grizzly. That's great. We're going to maintain our board, which means we're going to maintain our life points. The next turn, we're going to have Yomi ship in rotation. We're no longer going to have Yomi ship in rotation, but at least we beat the Hulk, which means that they don't have any synchro turners they can go into anymore. Omega is going to activate. Pot of Greed is not bad, as long as Omega doesn't hit something crazy. Oh no, how are we not drawing our back row? We have so much back row in this deck. Kelbeck is going to put back the Omega, but it's just the death knell for us. What were those draws? How did we just draw monsters this time? Oh my god, that was brutality. Well, I've sat here metagaming myself to death, and I think that we've come to something that can mitigate the problems that we had in our last game. I honestly, if I'm being totally honest, I think it was just a luck problem. This deck is absolutely stacked with metagaming potential, and we've just increased that metagaming potential. A couple of things I've done. King Tiger Wanghu looked god-awful in that last match. Every time it came out, it accomplished nothing, and then it died. I've actually replaced it with another card in the Earth slot, Nimble Mamanga. I've also replaced our field spell with Necro Valley. Necro Valley is cute because it actually stops a good portion of their strategy. Things like Jet Synchron, things like Scrap Wyvern, the O-Lion, all of these things cannot activate under Necro Valley, which is just great for us. And because we have a terraforming, there's a potential we either terraforming into Necro Valley and gain ourselves a floodgate, or we draw into the Necro Valley before the terraforming, and terraforming becomes another piece for Ordeal of a Traveler. Because that's the case, I've taken out a Manju and I've added a Dark Dust Spirit. Dark Dust Spirit is very cool because it converts our one guy on board into a blast of damage and the destruction of the opponent's entire field. I'm hoping with this and 2 extra copies of Needle Sealing, we'll be able to basically keep them off of combo for the rest of time. We just have to hope that they're big guys that they can normal summon won't take them over the finish line. Well, somehow chat is more optimistic than ever that our war crimes will succeed. We just need to get a decent hand. I have so much faith in this deck. Can we do it? We're getting to go first. I think that's what rock, paper, scissors means this time. It does mean that. We get terraforming for Necro Valley. This does mean that we can prevent most of their biggest combos. A normal summoned giant rat without any back row. Why can I not draw a trap card? Oh, into Harpy's Feather Duster. Wonderful. They're going to attack into giant rat. That's actually kind of okay for us because it gets us the Kelbeck. Now we have a monster on the board that can deal with their bigger guys, and Snatch Steal is really strong here with the normal summoned Nimble Momonga. This is a massive amount of board presence we've just accumulated with basically no effort. They have to provide the burden of proof here as to their ability to break through this. The 1900 guy is really good when we needle sealing ourselves. I did not expect us to have enough monsters on the board that needle sealing would just hit our own guys. I did not prepare for the possibility. I don't know why these edge cases are all we are getting. I am so unbelievably mad that this is how this is going down, and they're going to get the Hulk. This is the full Avramax combo, and we don't have something to out the Avramax. The first time we will see this card on the stream today, and it is going to absolutely blow us. It's not even going to be Avramax, it's going to be Scrap Dragon, which they have seemed to prefer a lot more recently. Hopefully Nimble Momonga will at least get us the extra life points this time around. We get the Momonga, but we just can't draw into back row, except for, of course, that one needle sealing. Raigeki could do it for us, though. They don't have a Scrap Wyvern to summon off of this. Scrap Recycler actually isn't going to do much. If we can fade a single big monster guy, then I think we're in good shape. Okay, the Scraps dude is all right, but we have things that do it here. If this is one of our floodgates, particularly if it's Fairy Box would have been so much better here, and they have the Raigeki, we're just getting slapped with RNG repeatedly. What is going on here? Oh, okay, at least Fairy Box with an open board isn't even good. What is with the order we are drawing these cards in? I am just incredulous that this luck is capable of occurring. We are getting just destroyed by the draws every time. At least the Fairy Box hits this time round. I don't understand it. This deck is just full of, oh good, the Fairy Box, the second, at least we do get 2 shots at the Fairy Box now. We're less likely to take damage off of this, although we're going to be taking 1,000 every turn. Okay, well that prevents us from taking 17. 1,000 is better than 17, I suppose. Can we put a monster into play? Pot of Greed is great for getting us a monster, and now we have a monster face down. Can we hit some Fairy Boxes? If this is like a Kelbeck, this is going to be a phenomenal swing for us. Can we get the Fairy Box through? We get Tails. This is great. Tails on the Hyper Hammerhead is really good for us. Okay, our chances are really good. This is something like a 75% chance of working. It did not. Oh my god, we are just hitting so many improbable chances in this match. A Kelbeck is really solid though. If we can stick this for a turn, we may have actually clutched it out. We just need to make this work for one more turn. Scrap Dragon is bad for us, but we have 2 shots at Fairy Box on this one. Can we hit it twice? We just needed to hit it once. This actually wins us the game. We got through even with the worst RNG in history. We made it through game 1. We just have to win one more game. One more game, and we are out of this endless Scrap Rose hell. Game 2. They're starting off with a Hulk combo here, except they're not going to go through Hulk, they're just going to go for Scrap Dragon. That's actually kind of good for us because it means that they're not going to be able to put multiple monsters on the board. They're just going to go for Neg into a Synchro that I think is actually pretty bad for them against most of our deck. I think that face down monster is actually a needle, or a back row is a needle ceiling, if I were to guess. It could be... Honestly, I'm not sure what it would be. Ooh, Solemn Strike is a really bad follow-up for that, but it does deal them damage. Honestly, dealing them damage is pretty okay. What is that face-down back row, I wonder? What could that face-down back row be? You'd think it would be Needle Sealing, except for the fact that they've had the materials for Needle Sealing in play before. Wait, Nimble Mamanga might get us the 2 monsters we need to resolve a Needle Sealing. Of course, I always draw the second Nimble. Oh, we're just doing it one at a time. Excellent. Sure, why not? Set a monster. Raigeki is basically Needle Sealing, but better. We'll flip some of the 1 Mamanga we already have on the board. This is actually okay. We've got good board presence and they're down on cards. Magic Drain is going to be so good for preventing them from getting into monsters. The Masked Chameleon is going to get negated by Necro Valley. We don't have any back row left, but Nimble Mamanga will give us life points back. If we can establish a back row on this, if we can get an Ordeal of a Traveler, if we can get a Fairy Box, we're in such good shape on this field. Goblinberg going into Borrelode Savage Dragon is great because Borrelode gets negated. We'll summon Giant Rat off of Giant Rat. This Borrelode is basically a Blue Eyes White Dragon on this field, and we can deal with Blue Eyes White Dragons easily with the normal summon of a Yomi ship. Honestly, normal summoning Yomi ship is pretty okay under these circumstances. They're going to tribute some of the Scrap Golem, but what's that going to accomplish under Necro Valley? Fairy Box, come on, you can do it. That actually doesn't matter that much. Kelbeck is honestly better for us than Giant Rat anyway. We've got very strong field presence. We just need to break this. That's not bad. That's not bad. That takes out the Scrap Golem. We just need this Fairy Box to resolve once, and we have basically won the game. Royal Oppression will certainly help if they go for something like a... Hold. Battle Phase? Just Spirit for the win. We've done it. We have finally dealt with the Scrap Rose Synchro deck. After 1,000,000 years, we have finally done it, and we can go against another ladder deck. And this next ladder deck, I think our particular lineup might just be better against. Let's see what we can do. Ding dong, the scraps are dead, the scraps are dead, the scraps are dead. Well, having beaten the Rose Scrap Synchro menace, we move on to our next challenger. This one looks unassuming. This Horus deck isn't featuring incredible modern combos. It doesn't have extra deck boss monsters like Avramax or Borrelode Savage Dragon. But what it does have is an unbelievable amount of removal, a bunch of fairly large guys, and the ability to go into a couple of boss monsters that are arguably better than Avramax and Borrelode Savage Dragon, White Knight Dragon, and Horus the Black Flame Dragon. These cards are really strong, and because their guys are all bigger than pretty much anything else, it's very easy for them to stick monsters long enough to get them onto the board, particularly with Dragon's Rebirth in rotation for them. This deck looks daunting, but I think we've come up with the spice. This is the last episode we'll get the opportunity to run this deck. And so we are bringing back a legendary ocean, but this one is way better than any legendary ocean deck we've run before. It's got Duo, it's got Snatch Steal, it's got level limit area B because it shifts their big guys to defense position to be run over with like a Yomi ship. It's got Dragon Capture Jar, which is relevant because all of their dudes have dinky defense and they're literally all dragons. And it's got Fenrir because this card is hilarious because if it destroys one of their dudes by battle, it's Yada. I'm so excited to see this deck play. And even though the Horus deck is higher up on the AI ladder than the Rose Synchro deck, I think just because of the nature of the pulls we have, this one's going to be way easier for us to beat. After Horus level 6 has so crushingly, cruelly rejected me time and time again, I had to ask chat if we were going to get revenge. 2% of them thought that Horus won the breakup, but 98% think that we have moved on and are ready to win out a match against them. And I think so too. It's time for us to heal from the trauma that is Soul of the Duelist and beat them with fish. All right, we have lost the rock, paper, scissors, but honestly, with Legendary Ocean, it couldn't matter less. Mountain is not great. It gives their monsters the extra attack to deal with even a Legendary Ocean, but Pot of Greed is good enough to get us closer to a Legendary Ocean itself. We didn't draw the Legendary Ocean, evidently, and they drew into Stamping Destruction. Sure, why not? We didn't draw into the 3 of, but they drew into the 2 of. We'll set a monster and a back row. If this is like Sakuretsu armor, or if it's Sakuretsu armor will do. What's the monster we set here? It's a Yomi ship. We have cleared their board. Okay, at least we have the board presence advantage, the tempo advantage to work with, and Mother Grizzly is a great card for maintaining tempo unless they use a Mirror Force on it. What is happening? What is happening? How are we not drawing into any of the cards that beat this deck? I have faith and we have time. We can do this. Show me. Oh, Yagagigo is not a pretty thing to see set face down. Raigeki, however, is a pretty good card for us to resolve. I wish we hadn't set a monster first, because if that's a vanilla, then we're in a little bit of trouble here. God damn, they are hammering us today. This is not looking good, folks. It just occurred to me that Cyber Dragon doesn't lose to Dragon Capture Jar. We aren't even running that many monsters. We have plenty of back row to work with, and most of our back row wins us the game. Let's see if we drew into... Sakuretsu armor is okay, but it doesn't clear this board. How did we lose this? Justice will be served, game 2. All right, we get to go first. We're opening with a 7-colored fish pass. We opened with 7-colored fish pass. What is going on? Oh no, they have Dragon's Rebirth. Oh no, they have Dragon's Rebirth into White Knight Dragon. Oh, we have Snatch Steal, which they're going to hit with White Knight Dragon. If this is a Yomi ship, we're okay. If this is a Yomi ship, we'll be fine. It is the Yomi ship. We did it. Okay, we cleared the White Knight Dragon, which means they ended up actually going 2 for 1 to get that White Knight Dragon, and we did pretty well outing it. We get the Fenrir. Fenrir is unfortunately not enough to beat a Dodger Dragon without Oh no. That card is a little bit of an issue. Come on, if we can get the Dragon... If we can get the Dragon Capture Jar, we're still in this. We're going to normal summon a guy. Where are all of our trap cards? I know that we have the ability to beat this deck. I know that we can do this. What is going on? All right. Terror King Salmon is extremely strong. It a little bit baited us here, but you know, we've got a guy off of their board. If that face down is Sakuretsu armor, we're actually in really good shape. Actually, it's Dragon Capture Jar, which is arguably better. All right, we're back in this. Dragon Capture Jar is online and we're gonna start beating dragons. Wow, Hardened Dragon has a huge ass, but pretty much no monster they can summon here can deal with this board. They can hammer shot all they want, but if we even draw into a Giga Gaga Giga or a Raigeki, we're in solid shape here. Okay, we are doing okay. If they have stamping destruction or what have you. Oh, that was a trap hole. Cyber Dragon might be a little bit of an issue. If we can get a pretty decently big guy, a Terror King Salmon would be phenomenal. Doesn't do it here. Okay, come on. We have good cards in this deck. I promise we have cards that can do this. Please show me a Sakuretsu armor. Yes, Sakuretsu armor is really, really good for us. It dealt with the one monster in their deck that deals with Dragon Capture Jar. If this is a second Sakuretsu armor or even a second Dragon Capture Jar, that's actually pretty great. See, even if they have Stamping Destruction here, it's not going to deal with both of the cards that out their board. Now we have the 7-colored fish. We're back in this. Okay, all right. That was looking a little hairy for a second, but we have the 7-colored fish. This might be like a D prison. If it's a Mirror Force, I'm fucked, and I've just been owned. But it's neither of those two things. I wonder if that's a Dragon's Rebirth face down, as long as they don't have another trap card. Okay, just not Mirror Force. It just has to not be Mirror Force. It's Dimensional Prison. We've won the game. We made it out. This deck is doing exactly as it's supposed to. Let's go. Game 3. We've still got game 3. We're 1-1. Starting off hot with a Pot of Greed, this is great because it gets us closer to our cards to deal with their deck, and 3 back row is pretty good, especially considering it includes 2 Dragon Capture Jar. Beat that. They've got Cyber Dragon. Okay, you know, even if they destroy the Yobi ship with the Cyber Dragon, it outs their only monster that can operate under Dragon Capture Jar. We just need to start summoning guys and getting in. If we clear back row, that's perfectly fine. We've cleared back row that would have dealt with better monsters. Not really sure what it is we have face down. It might be My Body as a shield in particular. We're about to find out. It is indeed My Body as a shield, but their monsters still can't attack under Dragon Capture Jar. I still can't say the name of that card. And the fighting prowess, not battle prowess, in both the sea, on both the ground, and of course in the water, is very good for us. Giga Gaga Gigo is the best card in our deck, and they top-decked Mirror Force, because why wouldn't they have top-decked Mirror Force? Fortunately, they still can't get around Dragon Capture Jar, the ultimate floodgate, but level limit Area B is floodgating us out of this game as well. Fissure... you know, it dealt with the Giga Gaga Giga we couldn't attack with, I guess. What is this floodgate lineup? I've described decks we've built as war crimes before, but this takes the cake as far as war crimes go. They can set all the monsters they want. Their cards do nothing in the face of, god damn, it's another Terror King Salmon. An MST against the level limit is actually great for us. Level limit is causing us problems, honestly. How are we going to deal with Hardened Armed Dragon? Of course, we drew into the 3rd ALO. Of course, it was the 3rd ALO. This is so tense. The double Dragon Capture Jar holding strong for a Raigeki. That 3 Raigeki is something we're really going to have to take out of the format, and we will for GX. Trap Hole will deal with the monster on their board that hopefully we would have dealt with a monster of our own. Where are our monsters? I'm sure we have more monsters than we've seen so far. Can we get a normal summonable? Yobi ship? Sure, I'll take it. If it outs a Mirror Force, even better. All right. 2 Dragon Capture Jar versus a bunch of gigantic dudes. Who will win? Apparently them, because we can't draw a goddamn monster so far. What is going on? Come on. There he is. Gaga Gigo. Silver's Cry brings back their guy, but it doesn't matter at all because our dude is bigger. At least in attack position while they're in defense. Foolish Burial will send White Knight Dragon. That's not ideal, especially since they have Hammer Shot. They can go for Dragon's Rebirth here. I'm not sure what it does for them, but it's there. They don't have it. I have no idea what that back row is now that we're looking at it. What could that possibly be? It's not something that outs 7-colored fish, so who actually cares? All right, let's see if we can keep this up. Darkhole, they're just firing off all their removal, and we're just hopefully drawing into some monsters now. There's another 7-colored fish. As long as we can keep dealing 2,000 damage, it really doesn't matter what kind of back row they have. MST is going to out the Sakuretsu armor we were never going to use anyway, and we're going to draw for turn into a Fenrir. A little too bad we don't get to see its effect resolve, but I will take it for the sake of taking down the Horus deck. One more back row, please not Mirror Force. It's Silver's Cry, and honestly, Silver's Cry does jack all. We can attack in with the Fenrir this time if we want, or we could just snatch steal it for the BM, I guess. I'll take it. Folks, you're going to get minimal channel points for this one. That was really something that we did to this poor Horus deck. But we are up against another difficult dragon deck next on the ladder. Let's see what we have in store. Well, since this episode is all about unleashing our AI, unleashing Borgarbot, unrestrained finally against the ladder, we're going to keep on going until we lose. And today we are up against Dragunity as our third deck. This deck is really strong. Its synchro bosses in Scrap Dragon and Stardust Dragon and Crystal Wing are very strong, especially considering they can use Stardust to go into Assault Mode, activate for Stardust Dragon Assault Mode. Stardust Dragon Assault Mode is a unbelievably powerful card against pretty much any deck, except maybe one. We are bringing back possibly the most meme-worthy deck I have produced on this show, Card of Safe Reburn. The purpose of this deck is to use Card of Safe Return and the Shallow Grave to draw into all of our burn pieces. Things like Just Desserts, Ceasefire, Coffin Cellar is very good against them, Secret Barrel once they've built up a big enough board, and our Floodgates Dragon Capture Jar. Lava Golem is also really crucial in this matchup because it gets rid of things like the Stardust Dragon Assault Mode without allowing them to trigger it. We don't need our normal summon as long as we have a Floodgate up, and this can burn them out. This is a majorly memey deck. It can be extremely bricky, but it's also very funny. There's just a better version of this deck probably that we can bring up against Dragunity if this fails, but I want to try this one last time before 90% of this deck gets banned. This one's a little bit suspect. Chat seems very confident that we're going to capture the dragons again, but I am running easily the most meme-worthy deck we've put to paper on this show. That's not true. That's a very difficult bar to clear, but this one's pretty wild. I'm excited to see it in action. Let the games begin. All right, what monstrosities can we open with? The Darkroom of Nightmare is a pretty big monstrosity. Of course, we have normal summoned our Princess of Tsurugi. We have Gravity Bind, but it's going to get MST'd. Ceasefire is going to be so strong here. Oh boy, please tell me that we have a Shallow Grave somewhere in our vicinity right now. Princess of Tsurugi, not good when we don't have Floodgates to back her up. Show me the Shallow Grave. Premature Burial without the fucking secret barrels. Okay, here. This deck is so bad. I'm getting giga owned right now. Oh geez, oh boy, oh no, oh god, oh no. Well, that's a face down monster. If it's a Spirit Reaper, we're actually in kind of okay shape, right? We just need to bait out the assault mode in order to make sure it can't hit Dragon Capture Jar. It's Princess of Tsurugi. No! Princess of Tsurugi's getting negated. We've been destroyed. Game 2. Surely it will work game 2. All right, Card of Safe Return. We're starting off with the namesake of the deck. See if that's going to be enough. I truly hope this is enough and we don't have to run the most absolute war crime version of this deck possible. They're going for their Stardust Assault Mode combo. They haven't activated the Assault Beast, which tells me they probably already have the Assault Mode in hand, which is not great for us. They're going for a big long line into Stardust Dragon. There's the Assault Beast. They do have the Assault Mode in hand. They're going to take 1,000 damage for it, though. Assault mode activate tributes off the Stardust Dragon, but honestly, we just need to put a guy face down. They're going to Stardust Assault mode our Shallow Grave. Sure, Monster Reborn will bring back Amazon as Swordswoman. Let's go. We got the draw. We normal summon the Princess of Tsurugi. That's okay. Burn is burn is burn. I will take burn wherever we can get it. During their turn, we're probably going to activate a Dragon Capture Jar that will immediately get negated by Stardust Assault mode, but in that case, they just don't have a guy on board. They can go for Dragon Ravine. This is going to get them to Dragunity Ducks. That'll get them another big guy, but another big guy is actually possibly good for us if they are going to be attacking into our Amazon as Swordswoman. If they just, you know, go for the damage, then we're in a little bit of trouble. Actually, okay, so here's the hot thought I have in my head. Is that a lava golem in our hand? No, it's a pyramid turtle, and pyramid turtle is going to get absolutely blown out by the two monsters they have on board. They did tribute the Crystal Wing, which is kind of nice for us. If we can keep our guys in play... Oh, they went for Dragon's Mirror. And wait, they banished the assault mode for Dragon's Mirror. We can beat this card. We can absolutely beat this card. This is a beatable monster. We just have to not think that we can summon monsters in face-up attack position, which seems like a doable proposition given that it has 5,000 attack. Well, fortunately, they deigned it not necessary to attack into the Princess of Tsurugi. I'll take it, I guess. Pot of Greed is great. Card of Safe Return is meh. We're going to attack into a face-down monster, and our giant rat is just going to get absolutely blown out of the water. I am really confused as to how this game has gone the way that it has. Dragunity Phalanx is going to get some. We're going to go for Scrap Dragon. What is Scrap Dragon? It's hitting the Spirit Reaper. That's unfortunately extremely good for them. And we are going to lose off of this Scrap Dragon. We have 200 life points left. Okay, 200 life points and a dream is a bet I'll take unless we have normal summon tomato. Okay. Ceasefire is 2,500, but unfortunately 2,500 is just not 3,000. Oh, somebody's getting a lot of channel points for this one. Okay, so what I've noticed here is that we just need to not run the meme version of the deck. I can work with that. I can live with that. That went about as meme-worthy as I expected it to, but we do have in our back pocket the objectively better version of this deck. Stealth Bird is a great replacement for Princess of Tsurugi since they're going to be putting monsters in face-down defense position, which I think means that we are going to try and flip our Stealth Bird face up. This can flip itself face down after having been normal summoned, which gives us a lot of potential for extra burn damage. Plus, we have Banisher of the Light in here, which is really good in the Dragunity matchup, and to play with our absolute devastation of their graveyard strategy, we have double terraforming into Necro Valley. The rest of this is just burn and floodgates. It is just burn and floodgates. We've taken out the entire card of safe return gimmick, and we have been left with just burn and floodgates, and that's what this deck's here for, baby. Let's run it back. Folks, it's been a long stream. This whole finale has been happening in one night, and we are 3 matches in to the AI ladder climb, and oh boy, have we just brought the most heinous garbage yet. No fun turbo is the question I've posed to chat, and 55% of them think, unfortunately, that fun will be had, that the Dragunity deck will win against us, but 45% thinks that there will not be any fun, and God, I hope they're wrong this time around so I can go to bed. Let's see how it goes. All right, starting off with the rock, paper, scissors, which we've lost, which I think means that we're going first. We've got a pyramid turtle and 2 back row, which could be great or could be terrible. The secret barrel honestly does quite a bit here, but ceasefire does jack all. Holy shit. Normal summon assault beast is great for us here though, because pyramid turtle can only go into a defense position Spirit Reaper, and Spirit Reaper just walls out this entire board. If we can keep this exact thing up that we've got going on right now, why did we change the Spirit Reaper to attack position? What did you think you were going to accomplish this turn with that attack position, Spirit Reaper? We're going to normal summon Amazoness Swordswoman and just keep the Spirit Reaper in attack doing jack all. Okay, this is a fascinating match so far. Truly the gameplay of all time. Okay, here we go. Stealthbird is online. If we can get Stealthbird to do the exact same thing the AI has been doing with Spirit Reaper, we're in good shape. What do we have? Lava Golem. We have Lava Golem, and we have not flipped up the Stealthbird. Okay, Stealthbird so far not doing what we wanted it to, but a 1700 defender is better than a 700 attacker, I'll give it that. Coffin Seller is really gonna put in work here though, because they are just going to keep sending their guys to the graveyard. The more burn we can get off of this, the better. I don't know how far this is going to take us, but it's going to be quite a bit. Scrap Dragon is going to be summoned to the field. It can take out the level limit area B, but that just destroys another one of their cars that won't be able to. We've built our own Luna Kaiju. We've built our own Luna Kaiju. Stealthbird flips, deals 1,000, flips back face down. Let's go into battle. Is Spirit Reaper about to get in damage? No, of course not, but we will get in damage with Amazoness Swordswoman. I kind of hope that they decide to attack into Swordswoman with just a big guy. What will it take here? A little bigger than a clear wing, so perhaps not the vibe here. But now it just takes the clear wing. Okay, please, please, please win with Amazoness Swordswoman here. Please, Amazoness Swordswoman, you can do this just for us. Just for us, Amazoness Swordswoman. Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon can't negate Swordswoman. Ah, it's attacking the Stealthbird. Boo! All right, we're shifting everything to defense. Ceasefire pretty much just does it. All right, I'll take it. A win is a win is a win. Game 2. God, this is horrifying. All right, Upstart Goblin, give us the life points so that we can burn you for them in return. This is not great for us. If they get into the Stardust Dragon Assault mode, we don't have a lot of gameplay to be had against that. But if we can activate 2 floodgates on their turn, it may not matter. I'm hoping for that scenario. Crystal Wing actually, honestly, couldn't be better for us. Crystal Wing is so bad against our deck, and we have the Necro Valley now, which means no further plays will be had. We are on the no fun turbo strat. Show me the Dragon Capture Jar. We don't have the Dragon Capture Jar. We have a Ceasefire. We're just going to deal a bunch of damage instead of getting any of our floodgates. There's the Gravity Bind. That's what I like to see. Gravity Bind is very good here. We haven't actually seen them summon a Dragunity Legionnaire. I don't know that they have them, which means they won't be able to destroy this Gravity Bind. They're just sitting on dudes. Necro Valley doing so much work, and the Lava Golem about to deal them 1,300 points of damage every single turn. By God, this deck is going to get us there. I didn't actually think we'd be able to beat the Dragunity deck today, but it's starting to look pretty good for us. Assault Beast is going to get Assault Mode Activate, which is fine under these circumstances. There's no way that they're going to be able to summon the Stardust to activate it. We're going to sacrifice our Lava Golem for a second Lava Golem just to make sure they're not allowed to any cards on the board. Just Desserts is going to deal 800 with Darkroom of Nightmare, and Lava Golem will take out a further 13. This is very good. Ironically, if they just normal summoned the Phalanx, they'd be in better shape than they are now. With this, we just need to deal another Lava Golem's worth and a Ceasefire, and we've basically won the game. Tell me that's a Stealthbird we can flip face up. Tell me that's a Stealthbird we can flip face up. It isn't, but honestly, that doesn't really matter. As long as we could just pass turn against Lava Golem, we have won the game already. Secret Barrel could also do it for us. Sure, I'll take it. We've beaten Dragunities, and I still have to keep going. It's not over, folks. The nightmare is not over. Our next challenger on the AI ladder is one I don't actually have a particularly good metagame plan against. I can't do things like floodgate them out of the game because their monsters are kind of unfloodgateable, at least with DM level floodgates. They've also got really good modulation tools in Link Slayer, which can convert their cards in hand into back row removal, and some just generally good removal. This one could actually pose a real problem for us, but we are bringing back a legendary ocean, and this this time with some new friends. The Yomi ship isn't great against this deck, so I'm bringing in just more big guys that can provide persistent threats. And you know we are bringing back Likunga with the 1 copy of Metamorphosis. This is gonna be a weird one, folks. Let's get into it. Man, we have not had much trouble since we got through that Scrap Rose Synchro deck. I promise it looked much more threatening when we were setting up the ladder, but this time I think we're going to have a fun match on our hands. Chat is predicting that there will be a legendary beatdown, and I look forward to it. Or maybe I'll be let free from this once and for all and can go to bed. We'll see. All right, starting off by winning rock, paper, scissors. I think that means that we go second, but I'm still not sure. It does mean we're going second. Signet Universe is pretty good against us as an aggro deck, but our big guys, I think, are just generally bigger than their big guys. We draw into Pot of Greed, which, you know, double Pot of Greed. Let's go. We're probably going to activate right back over our Legendary Ocean. We didn't. We drew Legendary Ocean and 4 back row. That's about best case scenario. Skill Drain will keep them from using Link Slayer, and Fairy Box will just keep us on the board. They're going to link off our Gagagigo for Link Spider. What was that nonsense? They're just going full Link. Show us the Sakuretsu armor. Show us the Sakuretsu armor. They showed us the Fairy Box. That's perfectly fine, especially if we can draw into a Gagagigo. Ask and ye shall receive. Oh, we've got just about the biggest bungus possible. How do they break this board? Link Slayer doesn't do anything. Sidet, what is this? Universe? Signet, nothing. We have the big fish on the board, and his little brother, his less evolved form, will be good enough to beat them. Wow, this is a lot of damage we just have in play. The old school dudes beating the modern guys by a mile. Oh, the second Gigagagigo feels so good. Oh, I have it on the wrong one. Rip. Okay, we're going to try this again. I put it on the wrong AI. That explains a lot, honestly. All right, let the games begin properly. All right, we've won rock, paper, scissors. I do think that that means we go second under these circumstances. Yes, it does. All right, let's see their combo go off. Let's see if it's good enough to beat a Legendary Ocean plus a big dude. We're opening Pot of Greed into Delinquent Duo for 1. Sure, why not? I'll take the hand control. We're just going to normal summon Likunga and set a back row and pass. Nothing could... Oh. Cosmic Cyclone could be a little bit of a problem for us here, especially since they have some big fuckers. What is with those monsters? Why are they so large? And how did we end up with so many monsters in hand and so few things that we could do against this board? Gigagagigo is going to, or a regular Gagagigo is going to get in. If this is a Sakuretsu armor, this is fantastic. You know what? Fairy Box, almost as good as Sakuretsu armor. 50% of a Sakuretsu armor. Not quite that much if they attack over our Gigagagigo. We're just missing the Fairy Boxes. We're just gonna miss all the Fairy Boxes. That's a bunch of Link Spiders, but fortunately, as long as we can just hit some things... Okay, Signet Backdoor deals with their biggest monster. I'm A-okay with that. 7-colored fish getting over. Fairy Box just has to hit once. Oh, because it can come back afterward. Surely this won't be a... It can attack directly. They have the ability to attack directly. Uh-oh. All right, game 2. That's okay. We drew a bad hand. We've got this in game 2. Normal summon Likunga set 2 pass honestly is basically an FTK. Skill Drain is really good against this deck. Ooh, I'm hoping that face down is a Sakuretsu armor against them. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be if they're only going to be normal summoning 1,500 guys. The compulsory evacuation device is just a neg for them. We're just going to summon back Likunga. They're going to bottomless it, sure, but we have Raigeki. If we don't get monsters, you don't either. They're going to normal summon the big sheep, which is a problem for us. I mean, Sakuretsu armor, I guess, does it for us. Oh, but it floats into a Cyberse monster. Sakuretsu armor doesn't do it for us. Can we get into a big enough dude? We've got a lot of them. A 7-colored fish, honestly, does it for us here. Sea Serpent Warrior of Darkness will also do it. His battle prowess, his fighting prowess on the land, and of course, in the water, is going to give us a pretty good chance. Even if they can summon the guy off a Sign It backdoor and attack us directly, we've got just the better monster to work with here. They attack directly, they're going to not crash, they're actually going to go for Decode Talker. This could be good for us if we can get into ALO plus a dude. A normal summoned guy isn't great here. We really need, I'm thinking those cards in hand are like Terror King Salmon and another dude. Oh, because it reduced it to 1900. I was like, what did that? Okay, come on. We need to see monsters that can... That's not how we needed to see this. That is not how we needed to see this happen. Well, unfortunately, the Moon Mirror Shield does mean that they're only dealing 100 points of damage every turn. Now ALO shows up to the party. Great. Cosmic Cyclone is going to deal with Skill Drain, which honestly at this point doesn't really help us that much. They're going to go for the Sign It to Universe. Honestly, that's perfectly fine for me. Gives us back our Giga Gaga Gigo. Can we get a back row that takes out Decode Talker? How are we not drawing into our additional Sakuretsu armors, our fairy boxes, things like that? There's the Lukunga, which does nothing here. Are we going to lose to this deck? Have we finally met our match? Sign It Universe sends back Lukunga, not ideal, but we are still only taking 100 points of damage per turn. If we can finally find Sakuretsu armor, we will be in very good shape, but no, we found a legendary ocean instead. Okay, not liking this as much as I thought I was liking this. Perhaps we do need to go back into the Yomi ship strategy for our next try. Terror King Salmon is going to be good for taking out Link Spider. That's at least solid for dealing with part of their board, but if they have a single normal summonable monster, we lose the game, and that is indeed a normal summonable monster. Oh, we have lost this one. Oh, it looks like I'm close to being freed from this hell prison of constantly ladder climbing. I can't be that mad. The AI has been doing incredibly well today. I just need to sleep at some point. Let's see if this modified version will take us there. I've taken out some of our 1700s for Mother Grizzlies and Yomi ships. These are going to be crucial for outing things like Moon Mirror Shield, which caused us a major issue in the last matchup. Maybe this will take us over. Maybe I will be allowed to embrace the sweet, sweet clutches of unconsciousness. I asked chat if I'll finally be allowed to go to sleep. Half of them said yes. Half of them said no sleep, only victory. Surely, surely, this will be the end. Let the games begin. I've never hoped so much that I would lose in my life. Honestly, a DM era deck doing as well as we've gotten is shocking to me. They get the Moon Mirror Shield. This is not good for us, but we have a lot of good outs for it in our deck between Sakuretsu armor and Yomi ship. We've got the double pot of greed, not a terrible start, and setting a monster will help us out. The fairy box, getting Cosmic Cyclone is not great, but tell me this is a Yomi ship. Oh no, the Yomi ship is hitting Ram Claudia. No! They had to attack with the monster that wasn't guaranteed. Oh, they're putting Moon Mirror Shield on the bottom of the deck. That can't be bad for us. Now we've got ALO plus them having a 2200 dude on the board. We've got Raigeki. Okay, this is kind of a nice turnaround for us, honestly. There's the Link Spider. We're going to flip up the fighting prowess. Dear God, Mirror Force. I've never been so conflicted about seeing the way a game goes in my life. Thanks for putting back an extra monster for us. We're going to take a lot of damage here, but they don't really have a way to out any of our larger monsters. If we can get into those, it really doesn't matter how much damage we've taken before. This Terror King Salmon is phenomenal for us right now. A 2600 dude when they're just top decking is unbelievably good. Thank you for sending back another monster for us to draw. Infinite resources. And there it is again. Okay, we're just going to attack in. We've got the Sea Serpent Warrior of Darkness. And we have a nigh unbeatable field, I feel like, right now. I don't know what they have in the deck that can... Yo, Giga Gaga Gigo coming through. And that just does it for us. Game 1 is in the bag. Let's go game 2. All right, come on. Beat us so I can go to bed. Beat us so I can go to bed. Maybe this is my punishment for rooting against Borgarbot. Fairy Box plus Yomi Ship is kind of a absurd combo. Well, they're going to Dark Hole, so that's not going to be a thing anymore. This is a lot of damage that they have on board. This is a lot of damage that they have on board. Fortunately, if Fairy Box goes well, it'll roughly half that damage. So far, it's gotten 1. Come on, can we get another one? Heads, heads. Oh, right. We have better than halved the damage. If we can just establish some guys and a Raigeki, I will take it. 3 Raigeki certainly does not hurt in these formats. Bringing back the big guy, will Fairy Box hit? Yes, in fact, it'll hit a Mother Grizzly. That'll deal 1,000. We now have board presence in play. This will give us a little bit of extra time to get to our ALOables, or we could just tribute summon him and we don't have to worry about. Giga Gaga Gigo is very strong in a simplified game state. We've got Fairy Box plus Giga Gaga Gigo. Surely nothing could go wrong. The original Gaga Gigo has entered the stage, and fortunately we're dealing some 50s or even life point levels again. They put down some back row. That could be the Mirror Force that burned us last time around, especially if we summon another guy. Well, it's not. That's a bottomless trap hole, and that does it. We have beaten them again. It's never going to end. The ladder climb is endless. Borgarbot is too strong. We have raised a monster. Well, I had to go to bed after that last one. Borgarbot is just doing a little too well on the ladder. I could not be prouder of Borgarbot, but it got so late and I had work the next day that I had to cut off, let it go for a week, change my entire stream setup, and come back to continue. We are back on Borgarbot's tear against the ladder. It's more slaughter time, and today we are up against Time Thieves. Time Thieves are a little bit concerning. They have access to Utopia the Lightning. Redoer is good against pretty much all of our decks, but they have a million Solemn Traps. And you know what's really good against Solemn Traps? A burn deck. So we're bringing back the burn, and I'm looking forward to this one. Pretty much no changes from previously, except for the fact that I removed the Jars of Greed that we were repping last time because we want as few traps as possible against Redoer. This is going to be a weird one. This may be it. I'm not going to lie. This may be the end of the line, but I've said that a number of times, and it hasn't been true yet. I asked chat if they think we're going to have to redo this match. Chat seems to think yes. Honestly, I think we may have reached the end of the line. I may agree with them, but I'm still on the side of Borgarbot, and I think we all should be. Let the games begin. All right, we have 1 rock, paper, scissors. Hopefully that means that we're going first, being a burn deck. We are going first, and we're starting off with Chain Energy. We couldn't have started by summoning the Amazoness Swordswoman and then set the Chain Energy. Oh, they're going to Extrav. This is so good with Chain Energy. Chain Energy is really good at punishing exactly that card. Look at those 1500s they're taking. Wow, and they end on a 1000 attack point, dude. We're also going to take some Chain Energy. Oh, they solemned. Folks, they solemned. Folks, they've solemned. They're going to crack down. But we're going to Regeki, but they're going to Solemn again. Okay, they now only have 2 card activations in the tank. They only have 2 card activations in the tank. One of those is Thunder King Ryo, and another is Overlaying for Perpetua. That does not happen from hand, so it is immune to chain energy. I guess all we do have to do is sit on a face-down monster until we get the opportunity to deal damage. Sending Perpetua back is actually great for us, except that they're going to deal us an additional 1,000. Can we continue to put up a front and force them to burn themselves more? They are going to burn themselves more, and it was the face down. Let's go! Game 2. This burn deck is so cracked. All right, game 2. There's no way we get that lucky again. They're going to fire off Max C. They could have waited until that was chain energied, but, you know, I'll take it. We're going to set 4 plus our bird. We're going to ceasefire. That's less than ideal, but Coffin Seller will certainly help us if they start really going in. Phantom Knights, a Shade Brigadine, and Ryo lets them go for Redoer and flip things into the deck. That's not good for us. Dark Hole, however, is extremely good, and they won't activate Time Thief Redoer, which means we are getting so many Coffin Seller activations. I do wish we hadn't set that monster before we Dark Hold, but I will work with it. They've got Ryo. I would like to see a Spirit Reaper in the near future. That would be my ideal scenario. If this could be Spirit Reaper, I think we are going to be in extremely good shape. It's going to be a bird. That's not good. I'm thinking that last card in hand is Lava Golem. I'm really hoping that they summon a single other monster. It's not something they're known to do, though, because that requires them going, or that gives them the opportunity to go into the extra deck. But I am hoping that they summon a monster and try to just get in with it. There's Ryo. Ryo's going to hit Kelbeck. They're going to Solemn Strike. Okay, they are burning themselves. That's a good point. They did Solemn the Ceasefire for 500. I didn't think about how catastrophically hilarious it was that they ceasefired or that they Solemn to Ceasefire. Truly incredible gameplay here. Time Thief Redoer is going to do its effect, but it is not going to activate its monster effect. We're going to go just desserts, deal them 500 points of damage. Redoer is going to nab a spell. That's not great for us. It's going to go to 3,000, and it's going to be able to attack directly. Huh? What? Oh, okay. Messenger of Peace. Messenger of Peace, we're fine. We're okay. Messenger of Peace is engaged. We are okay. Hack is going to do nothing with Messenger of Peace. We are okay. Come on, Lava Golem. Come on, Lava Golem. They've summoned a monster. Yes! Lava Golem is here, and we get to Coffin Seller for game! We get to do the quadruple Coffin Seller for the 2-0! Oh, what can I say? Burn is just the greatest deck of all time. I did not expect that to go that easily, folks. That was truly something. There's nothing says incredible engineering. Nothing says the next level of human development like an AI solemn judgmenting a ceasefire. God, I'm gonna go to hell for this deck. Well, as the slog continues up the ladder, Borgarbot just throwing haymakers as it goes, mowing down the competition. We've arrived at a deck that I just do not understand. I've played against Hardleg Gaming playing Witchcrafters before, but I have never actually understood what the cards do. Chat assures me that I am correct in thinking that they pretty much don't do anything, but I do know one card that they have in their deck. That grass looks greener. So we're running a 59 card deck. Is 60 cleaner? Yes. Is 60 better against grass? Arguably, but if they grass for 1, I think it's going to be hilarious. This deck is Last Day of Witch, It's basically burn, but instead of playing standard burn cards, we're running Raging Flame Sprite, which can attack directly under Gravity Bind, which the Witchcrafters can't, and hopefully we're going to get a gigantic Raging Flame Sprite, or a Solar Flare Dragon just dealing 1,000,000 burn damage per turn. I don't know how this is going to go. It is a 60-card deck, which means any number of things could be possible. This is so going to lose. The question for this duel is, what day is today? Is today the last day of Witch, or will today be the beginning of the season of the Witch? Chat is with Borgarbot. It thinks we're going to go witch hunting today, and I genuinely don't know. Anything is possible through a 59-card deck. Let's see how it goes. And we crashed the program. Having restarted everything, let the games begin. I have no expectations for this duel, so whatever happens is going to be a treat. Okay, they made the level 4. They're just going to keep discarding. Presumably that's not a good thing, right? Like, they get a bunch of stuff during the end phase. But what does it do? I guess they did end up going +1 on the turn. I don't know how that happened. Sure, I'll steal Jenny and summon UFO Turtle. Aha! Just desserts. We're going to get... Wait, no, we set into the imperm column. We set into the imperm column. No. Wait, we've got the Solar Flare Dragon. Can we get the second Solar Flare Dragon? Oh yeah, one of their monsters is a quick effect pop. I do remember this one. Oh dear. So they have a hell of a combo on their side of the field. Surely this isn't going to keep happening. Okay, Yomi Ship. Yomi Ship, I need you to do your thing right now. I need you to do the thing, Yomi Ship. Come on, I know you're capable of it. You've won us so many games versus Avramax. Yomi Ship, can you get this done? Can you bring it home for us? You just have to... What is going on here? Okay, all right, okay. Yomi Ship is doing its... Oh yeah, their spells have replacement effects. Oh yes. Maybe we needed bounce monsters. Maybe we need to bring back the Hyper Hammerheads. What are we doing here? I don't understand this card's effect. Oh, it adds attack points to itself. Excellent. Oh, they're just drawing 1,000,000 cards. We did blank their grass. That's true. Hi, Luna. This is not looking ideal. This is looking like a little bit of a problem. Maybe the 60-card deck wasn't the play here. Maybe grass wasn't the threat we needed to play around. Perhaps there are other things I should have been worried about. Oh no. All right, game 2. That was only game 1 though. Okay, clearly, I don't think that was an indicator of how this is going to go. I think this could still be fine. Right? Hey, we got Pot of Greed. Does their deck have Pot of Greed? I don't think so. Yo, okay, we terraforming for Necro Valley. We have Necro Valley in hand. We have 3 back row. Okay, Fairy Box is good. If Fairy Box lands, we're in pretty good shape. Hold up. Reasoning. Okay, this is where we start to regret not having the cards that punish Reasoning. They can send Necro Valley back to hand. Oh boy. Wow, they're just going to do everything, aren't they? They're just going to do everything. Can we convince you not to use your effect? Hold. Ah, they're using it. Sakura, the chain Sakuretsu armor. Wait, that was cracked as hell. The chained Sakuretsu armor was insane, but it doesn't matter because their shit just all comes back during the end phase. We're going to monster reborn back there, guy. We're like, it's ours now. They're going to destroy Necrovalley. That is not ideal, especially because we're switching the Raging Flame sprite to defense. A quick effect pop may be a little bit too strong for us. I didn't expect it to be the Witchcrafter deck of all things that shows the weakness of Duel Monsters era cards, but that does seem to be the case right now. Spirit Reaper does nothing in the face of... Okay, we're going to call the Haunted back Spirit Reaper and it's just going to destroy itself. Borgarbot has given up. It's just like, I'm just going to fire my own call. Nothing matters anymore. Oh my god. They really do have a main deck DPE Leviathulu. This is demoralizing to say the least. This is not going well. But I have plans. I actually have ideas. I think there are things we can do. How many cards in hand do they have to have for Heavy Slump to... Wow, Raigeki just terrible in this matchup. Maybe we're in trouble. Maybe we're, this is just overkill. This is unnecessary. They had us dead 3 ways from Sunday anyway. We've been absolutely dunked on. I don't know how we beat this deck. Ha. We're in a little bit of trouble. This might be the end of the line. This might be where it all ends. But that's what the panic button is here for. But we today are running Panic Button 2. In I Challenge You so far, the panic button has been running Big Guy Earth with Gaia power. And I think, honestly, if we are going to have a chance in this matchup, this is the deck that's going to do it. Why is that? Because it makes our dudes big so that they don't have to destroy cards by card effect. Couple of reasons that's very important. Number 1, buy street. Number 2, because destroying their cards and sending them to the graveyard with a card effect requires resources from us in a way that attacking does not. And those resources end up getting totally turned around on us the second that they banish a card in their graveyard to just resurrect the dude in the first place. We're also running triple Jowgen the Spiritualist. This can trigger multiple times in a turn and just destroy all of their special summon monsters and prevent them from coming back. I think that's pretty good. And if we can protect it with things like Fairy Box and Sakuretsu armor, we're in good shape. Skill Drain is in here, and that does Namba with Jowgen, but because we have so many big guys that get even bigger under Gaia power, I think it's perfectly fine. We're bringing back an old favorite in Spell Purification. This card destroys all face-up continuous spells on the field. We have none, they have a billion, and those cards are destroying our lives. If we can Spell Purification away their cards, hit them with Sakuretsu armor, hit them with Fairy Box, I think we have a chance. Even if we lose, we do have things like Legendary Jujitsu Master and Hyper Hammerhead to put their guys back so that they cannot continue dealing us damage, and maybe we can get in for some damage of our own. I'm somewhat hopeful, maybe perhaps not optimistic, but we shall see. Chat has an interesting opinion on this match. It appears that Jessica J is the real source of this disparity between the end of the line and going full steam ahead. 68% in favor of this not being the end of our night. We're holding on. We are just grasping for the edge of the cliff, trying not to fall off. And I think we have a chance, just a chance, of bringing this one back. Let the games begin. All right. I didn't see who's going first, but oh no! After all of these games, they finally resolved grass, and it is probably probably going to be the end of this game. Fortunately, they've only really gotten 2 guys out of it. They said, you know, like a person who hasn't looked at all of the cards they have engraved, a spell purification will just be fine. We'll just 1 spell purification. Hyper Hammerhead, you know, Hyper Hammerhead would have actually been a great thing to attack in with that time round. Oh, we've got the 2nd fairy box, but they have the Heine. And the 3rd fairy box, let's go! You only get 1 Heine this turn. Oh my god. Wait, okay. We just need them to attack. We just need them to attack. We just need them to attack. We need them to attack, and we need to flip correctly. All we need is for them to attack, and for us to flip correctly. Just 1 time. Tails. We got the tails. Let's go. That's 1 down. Hyper Hammerhead sends it back. 1 more time. 1 more time. No! Hyper Hammerhead sending it back anyway. Okay. All right. This isn't the worst shape I've ever seen us be in. That might be the worst shape I've ever seen us be in. Okay. That might be a little bit of an issue. Heine's kind of a problem. We got ashed on the pot of greed! No! Oh, we got ashed on the pot of greed! We've been so owned! We have been so phenomenally owned. Yeah, maybe they deck out. Maybe we survive. Okay, Fairy Box, you have 1 job. You have... I don't know what just happened there, but it was not good for us. Heads. Okay. All right, we're getting there. Tails. We've survived the turn. Maybe we do deck them out. Oh, they have Metal Foes Fusion, don't they? Well, Metal Foes Fusion would still deck them out. Oh no. Heine can resolve now. Oh no. This may be it, folks. It was a good run. We tried our best, but it is probably over now. God, this deck is unbelievably good against us. Oh no. Kinda wish we had Fossil Dino, honestly. Fossil Dino would probably, I mean, not against... We normal summoned the legendary Jujutsu Master. Guess chat predicted that would happen. Yeah, I suppose I was wrong about legendary Jujutsu Master attacking in. Dust Tornado to Chain hitting 1 of the 2 by streets face up. I suppose that's fitting for how we're going down today. But that was just game 1. That was just game 1. Maybe we still have a chance. Banishing for X-Trap. They've got Reasoning. Reasoning is really good in their deck. Oh, no. Oh, this is very strong for them. Hey, at least they didn't resolve Grass yet. They are going for the Heines. Let's see how many goddamn plus a millions they get during the end phase. Ooh, Magician's Right Hand is actually really bad for us. That card is really, really strong against us. What can we start off with? Necro Valley is pretty good, but it's going to get immediately Heina'd. We've got Gaia Power. Kind of wish we had started with that one, if I'm going to be honest. But Jowgen actually gets impermed here. God, we are getting absolutely destroyed by the... No, tell me this isn't how it works. No, tell me that's not how it happens. No, not like this. Not like this. Oh, the ladder ends as it began, with Jowgen absolutely owning us with its own effect. No. God damn. devastated, folks. Oh god, we get an extra turn. We get another turn where we have to sit through this. We have to sit through this for a whole other turn. Oh, thank you, Borgarbot, letting us out of this by attacking to our death with... Hold? Oh, wait. I mean, we still die, but Gigantus would have been great earlier on. Man. This isn't how I wanted this to end, but I suppose it's fitting that we got absolutely dumpstered by a deck that even the most powerful DM Staples has no defense against. This was unbelievable. But honestly, I can't be mad. Borgarbot got absolutely farther than we expected it to. Borgarbot got us through Scrap Rose, Synchro, Horus, Dragunity, Cyberse, and Time Thief in this episode. We did so much with what we were stuck with. I can't be mad about this. Witchcrafter is a modern archetype that Borgarbot made it to. I call this a win. And honestly, it is only appropriate that we end with an incredible meme from Renee. Got dunked on.